You won't believe what happened when one of the biggest tech giants on the planet crossed a threshold that sounds more like science fiction than finance. Imagine a company so valuable that its market cap is bigger than the GDP of entire countries, and its logo is recognized in the farthest corners of the earth. That's the story of Apple becoming the first company to be valued at $3 trillion. Stick around to the end to find out how this milestone was reached and what it really means. We'll break down the numbers, look at the journey, share a few laughs, and even touch on whether your iPhone habit may have personally funded a tiny sliver of that colossal figure. To understand how Apple climbed to a $3 trillion valuation, we need to rewind and look at its trajectory. Founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne, Apple started out selling circuit boards and personal computers. It wasn't always a juggernaut. In fact, by the mid-1990s, the company was teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. When Jobs returned in 1997 and eventually became CEO, he focused Apple on sleek design, usability, and innovation. Fast forward to August 2018, and Apple's market capitalization reached $1 trillion, a first for any U.S. publicly traded company. Just 2 years later, in August 2020, Apple hit $2 trillion, fueled by soaring iPhone sales and growing services revenue. Then in January 2022, Apple became the first company to briefly surpass $3 trillion in intraday trading before falling back by the market close. Finally, in mid-2023, Apple closed above the $3 trillion mark, securing its place in history. It took less than 5 years to triple its value, a feat that makes compound interest look like child's play. So what does $3 trillion actually look like? It's an almost unimaginable sum. If you stacked 3 trillion $1 bills, they would reach past the moon and back several times. $3 trillion could buy you nearly 9 million median-priced homes in the United States, or the 50 most valuable sports teams in the world with plenty of change left over. If you divided that figure among everyone in the US, each person would get roughly $9,000. It's more than the GDP of the United Kingdom or India. Next time someone complains about the price of an iPhone, remind them that they're investing in a company that could theoretically fund a small nation. That said, valuations are about market expectations, not piles of cash sitting in a vault. Apple doesn't have $3 trillion in cash. It's the market's collective judgment of the company's future earnings and growth potential. Still, it's fun to imagine Tim Cook swimming in a vault of coins like Scrooge McDuck. What propelled Apple to this historic valuation? There are several key factors, and they illustrate why Apple has become more than just a gadget maker. First, Apple built an ecosystem that keeps customers locked in. The company's products and services work seamlessly together, encouraging you to buy more. Once you own an iPhone, you're more likely to get a Mac, an Apple Watch, and maybe subscribe to Apple Music or iCloud. Second, the iPhone remains a cultural icon and a massive revenue generator. It's easy to joke about people lining up overnight for the latest model, but those lines translate into billions in sales. Third, Apple has diversified its income streams. In addition to hardware, the services division, which includes App Store fees, music and video streaming, and warranty programs, has become a huge contributor, providing recurring revenue with high margins. Fourth, Apple has a reputation for operational excellence and supply chain mastery. Whether it's designing custom chips or navigating global logistics, the company sets industry standards. Fifth, Apple buys back its own stock, reducing the number of shares outstanding and boosting earnings per share. Combined, these factors drive investor confidence and a steady climb in the stock price. Here's 5 things you should know about how Apple reached the $3 trillion milestone. You won't believe number 4. Number 1, brand loyalty is almost cult-like. Apple customers don't just use Apple products, they evangelize them. Ask a longtime user to switch to another smartphone and you'll witness genuine discomfort. Number 2, services revenue is growing faster than hardware. While we love shiny new gadgets, the steady income from subscriptions and app fees adds up quickly. Number 3, international markets fuel growth. Apple's dominance in China and other emerging markets has expanded dramatically in recent years, and even modest increases in market share translate to billions in additional revenue. Number 4. The company sits on an enormous cash pile, which it uses for dividends, share buybacks, and strategic acquisitions. Imagine having so much money that buying another company is like ordering takeout. Number 5. Investors are betting on future innovations such as augmented reality headsets and electric vehicles. The mere rumor of an Apple car sends analysts into a frenzy. Those expectations get baked into the valuation long before a product ever hits the market. Of course, no company's path is without obstacles. Apple faces challenges that could threaten its lofty valuation. The global smartphone market is maturing, and competition from other tech giants is fierce. Regulators worldwide are scrutinizing Apple's App Store practices, questioning whether its fees stifle competition. Supply chain disruptions, geopolitical tensions, and economic downturns can all affect sales. And then there's the perennial question: what's next? The iPhone cannot carry the company forever. Critics argue that Apple must deliver another game-changing product if it wants to stay on top. Humorously, we could imagine a device that beams holographic cats into your living room, but the reality is that innovation cycles are unpredictable and expensive. At some point, even the largest company can stumble if it fails to adapt. Remember how everyone once thought BlackBerry phones were unbeatable? Investors who remember history temper their enthusiasm with caution. For investors, Apple's ascent offers both excitement and lessons. It shows how powerful a strong brand, consistent innovation, and a loyal customer base can be. It also illustrates the importance of diversification. Services revenue cushions the company when hardware sales fluctuate. But valuations at this scale come with greater scrutiny. If the market senses a slowdown, the reaction can be swift. Some analysts joke that Apple is the financial equivalent of a blue-chip comfort food. It's widely held in portfolios, and people turn to it when they don't know what else to buy. It's like ordering mac and cheese because you're not sure what that fancy dish with foam is going to taste like. And just as our palates evolve, market taste can change too. Investors must decide whether Apple's premium price tag still offers value, or whether there are tastier, undervalued options on the menu. Let's zoom out and consider the broader context. Apple reaching $3 trillion is part of a larger trend of tech dominance. Other companies like Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, Alphabet, Amazon, and Nvidia have valuations above $1 trillion, and some may eventually match or surpass Apple. The race to higher valuations is fueled by global demand for technology, digital infrastructure, and the promise of artificial intelligence. At the same time, such concentrated wealth raises questions about economic inequality and corporate power. When one company is worth more than many nations, it's fair to ask what responsibilities accompany that scale. Should Apple be doing more to address environmental sustainability, labor practices, and digital privacy? Tim Cook has often spoken about corporate values, but actions speak louder than words. As consumers and citizens, we have a role to play by supporting companies that align with our values and by holding them accountable when they don't. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Do you think Apple deserves its $3 trillion valuation? What Apple product do you believe contributes most to the company's success? Are you excited about rumored products like an Apple car or augmented reality headset? Or do you think the company should focus on improving its existing lineup? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters, and you might spark a great discussion. Plus, I always love learning what people love or dislike about their tech. Maybe you have a hot take, like preferring the feel of a classic iPod click wheel over a touchscreen. Don't be shy, let's chat. In the end, Apple's rise to a $3 trillion valuation is a testament to what focus, innovation, and a loyal customer base can achieve. It's a story of visionaries like Steve Jobs, who dreamed of computers being personal and accessible, and executives like Tim Cook, who turned that dream into a sustainable business. It also reflects the extraordinary appetite the world has for technology and the ways in which our lives have been intertwined with software and devices. Whether Apple holds onto its crown or is eventually surpassed by another giant, its journey offers lessons in business strategy, brand building, and the power of staying ahead of the curve. So the next time you tap an app or FaceTime a friend, take a moment to marvel at the enormous enterprise behind that simple action. And if you need a break from thinking about billions and trillions, just ask Siri to tell you a joke. She might say, "Why did the smartphone go to therapy? Because it lost its touch." Thanks so much for watching. Your support means the world. If you could drop a like and subscribe, that would really help the channel. Have a wonderful day.